It's time once again to talk about the cattle markets, and joining us now is Derrell Peel, our livestock marketing specialist here at Oklahoma State University. Derrell, let's talk about the markets right now. Drought conditions are out there and they're starting to affect things, but of course last year we had drought. Just the reaction in the markets wasn't nearly this dramatic as we're seeing this year.
You know, it's really a testament to the fact that droughts are unique. They're different every year, and we are seeing a much different reaction, a much stronger and quicker market reaction than we did last year. The one thing you can say about last year's drought, as strong as it was, we didn't see prices drop as much as you might expect. And the reason really was that as severe as the drought was in Oklahoma and Texas primarily, and the surrounding region last year, outside of that region we had very good conditions. So when animals were forced to market, be it feeder cattle or cows or whatever, they had places to go. There were places that had lots of forage and lots of hay last year. This year we have a drought that all in all is less severe, but it's much more widespread. And so what you have is a situation when folks are beginning to be forced to move animals because of drought conditions. There's really no place for them to go. And so we're seeing a much more pronounced and really a more typical kind of market reaction to this drought this year compared to last year.
Okay. Derrell, talk a bit about the impact corn's having on this market.
Well, that's the other factor that's different last year. We had high corn prices last year. Up until about 6 weeks ago, we thought we were going to get some break with that with this year's corn crop. And of course, the drought is also affecting crop production and has dramatically lowered our expectations for the corn crop this year. So we're seeing the immediate impact on cattle producers in terms of forage availability where cattle are produced, but we're also seeing the effect of changes in expectations for the demand for feeder cattle because now we're looking at significantly higher feed costs for those cattle as they feed out, this fall and winter. And so we're also getting the crop market impact much more dramatically this year than last year.
Okay, so with that in mind, what kind of advice would you have for producers right now?
Well, obviously we don't know exactly how the drought's going to play out for the rest of the summer. And getting through the summer is one of the issues, so producers need to evaluate forage resources and decide earlier rather than later whether they're going to have to make some decision. But the thing I would keep in mind again is that underneath it all, we still have limited feeder supplies. We're changing the timing in many cases by moving those cattle earlier rather than later. And if this drought proves to be more of a summer event and passes as we move into the fall, particularly if we have moisture in the southern plains and have some prospects for winter grazing in the southern plains, we could see a pretty dramatic rebound in this feeder cattle market in the fourth quarter of the year or by that time. So, producers kind of need to plan for getting through the summer versus what can happen after that. We don't know what will happen after that, but there's certainly more potential for this market to bounce back in the last part of the year.
All right, good information and stuff to keep an eye on. Derrell Peel, our livestock marketing specialist.